Welcome back to Changfied YouTube channel, your trusted source for latest updates across South Sudan and beyond. Well, in this program, we will discuss why many citizens say that the upcoming election should be decided by service delivery rather than campaign slogan. We will also examine the step being taken in Numale to strengthen preparedness against Ebola following outbreak in neighboring countries. In addition, we will provide a recap of the latest statement made during the ongoing court proceeding involving suspended first Vice President Dr. Machar and his co-accused. As always, our aim is to present the information in a clear and simple and balanced manner. Before we proceed, I would like you to help the channel by subscribing, turn on the notification bell, so whenever we upload a new video, you can be notified. Our first story, why service delivery may decide the 2026 election. As South Sudan move closer to the election scheduled for December 2026, political activists are becoming more visible across different parts of the country. Campaign colors, songs, and slogans have started appearing in town and villages. Supporters wearing red shirt and cap have been seen at gathering in different areas. However, beneath the excitement of campaign activities, many citizens are raising a different question. They want to know who will improve their daily life. One of the voices drawing public attention is that of Willie Angokngor, a former youth leader from Amul. According to remarks that were widely shared in local media, Angok said that people are no longer interested in political slogan alone. He said that citizens are looking for leaders who can improve hospitals, strengthen schools, provide electricity, and build roads that connect communities. According to his message, people want practical solutions to the challenges they face every day. He explained that campaign materials such as shirts and caps are not enough to address the problem affecting ordinary citizens. Well, his comment sparked discussion about what voters may prioritize during the next election. Many communities continue to face serious difficulties in accessing health care services. In some areas, health facilities exist but often struggle with shortage of medicine and equipment. Families sometimes travel long distance in search of treatment. Citizens have therefore called for improvement that would allow hospital and clinic to provide the services people need. Education is another concern frequently raised by communities. Many schools continue to operate under difficult conditions. Some lack classroom, desk, books, and other important learning materials. Teachers in certain areas face challenges due to limited resources. Parents and community leaders have repeatedly emphasized the importance of investing in education because they see it as essential for the future of the country. Road infrastructure has also become an important issue. In many rural communities, roads become difficult to use during the rainy season. Poor road condition can affect trade, healthcare access, and movement between communities. Residents have argued that improving roads would strengthen local economics and make service more accessible. Another issue highlighted by citizens is the payment of salaries to public employees. Teachers, healthcare workers, and civil servants play important role in society. When salaries are delayed, the ability of these workers to support themselves and continue their duties may be affected. Many people therefore believe that ensuring regular salary payment should remain a priority. The broader message emerging from this discussion is that voters increasingly want leaders to demonstrate results rather than focusing only on historical achievement or campaign promises, many citizens appear interested in practical improvement that they can see in their daily life. As the country prepare for election, questions about health care, education, infrastructure, and economic well-being are expected to remain central topic of public debates. Let's move on. Normally strengthen Ebola preparedness. According to this report, authorities in Numili municipality have intensified effort to prepare for the possibility of Ebola entering South Sudan. These actions follow report of Ebola cases in neighboring Uganda and the Democratic Republic of Congo. Normally serves as one of the country's busiest entry points because of its location near the border. Officials said preparedness measures are important in protecting public health. Local authorities recently held discussion involving health experts, humanitarian organizations, and security agencies. The goal of these meetings was to review the current level of readiness and strengthen systems designed to detect and respond to possible cases. Numili Municipal Council Mayor Cesar Longa fully said authorities are working closely with health institutions and security agencies. According to the mayor, travelers entering through Numili continue to undergo screening procedures as part of ongoing prevention effort. He reassured residents that measures are being implemented to help maintain public safety. Health specialists have emphasized that early detection and community cooperation are critical in preventing the spread of Ebola. They say that awareness among the public can contribute significantly to preparedness effort. The World Health Organization and other partners are supporting initiative aimed at strengthening laboratory system and improving surveillance activities. Training programs for healthcare workers are also considered important. Healthcare professionals need to knowledge and equipment required to identify suspected cases and respond appropriately. The International Organization for Migration has also increased support at border entry points. Additional personnel have reportedly been deployed to assist with screening activities and public awareness campaigns. According to this report, officials say these efforts are intended to improve preparedness and ensure that travelers receive accurate health information. Ebola virus disease is a serious illness caused by infection with the Ebola virus. The disease is spread through direct contact with the bodily fluid of an infected person or contaminated materials. Symptoms may include fever, weakness, headache, vomiting, diarrhea, and in severe cases, bleeding. Health authorities continue to encourage the public to remain informed through trusted sources. They also urge individuals experiencing symptoms consistent with Ebola to seek medical attention promptly. Although South Sudan has not reported case linked to the current outbreak, officials continue to classify the country as vulnerable because of regional movement across border. Preparedness, they say, remain essentials. Let's move on to court recap involving Gadwich Lampo. This is our third top story. We now turn to development from the ongoing court proceeding involving suspended first by President Dr. Machar and several co-accused individuals. During the latest court session, a member of Parliament, Gadwich Lampoch, presented part of his defense. According to his testimony, Gadwich Lampoch believed that certain public statements made by senior officials contribute to rising tension following violence that occurred in Nasser County. Gadwich Lam named several officials whom he alleged made comment before investigation had been completed. He mentioned Dr. Benjamin Bolmel, he mentioned Lol Gatkot, he mentioned Dr. Lemoro, he mentioned Folnang, he mentioned Cholton Balok. He argued that such statement increased political and ethnic division during a sensitive period. According to Gadwi Lampoch, the environment surrounding the Nasser incident became more complicated because of inflammatory language and public accusation. He stated that these developments had consequences for effort aimed at reducing tension. During the proceeding, previous evidence presented by a digital forensic expert was discussed. This expert had alleged that information extracted from Gadwi Lampoch phone show communication involving military matters. Gadwi Lampoch rejected this allegation. Gadwi maintained that his actions were part of his constitutional responsibility as an elected representative. According to Gadwi Lam, members of parliament have a duty to express concern regarding matters affecting their constituents. He explained that discussions involving Nasser and Wulang counties were intended to address growing tension and encourage peaceful solution. Gadwi Lampoch also stated that efforts were made to urge national leader to allow engagement with communities affected by insecurity. According to his testimony, these actions were aimed at reducing fear and countering rumors circulating among the population. Throughout his defense, Gadwi Lampoch denied wrongdoing and maintained that his conduct reflected his responsibility as a lawmaker. Well, it is important to know that the allegations discussed during the proceeding remain before the court, and the accused individuals continue to deny the charges against them. Let's move on to our top story number 4. Mampaldor addresses the court. In another important development from the same court proceeding, Mampaldor also addressed the judges. During his testimony, Mampaldor discussed the Y Army, a group often described as consisting of army used from local communities. According to Mampaldor, the Nuer Army operates independently and is not controlled by any individuals or by any political organization. He stated that members of the group act on their own decision rather than under instruction from political leaders. The court sought clarification regarding references to army use. Mampaldor explained that the term referred generally to individual carrying weapons within his home area. He further stated that no individual direct their activities. Prosecutor had previously alleged that financial support had been provided to army youths involved in the Nasser violence. Mampaldor rejected this allegation. He told the court that material presented as evidence had no connection to the incident under discussion. Well, Mam also questioned the source of digital evidence introduced during the proceeding. He said he was unaware of how certain messages regarding and images had been obtained. In addition, he denied having received or responded to some of the communication attributed to him. According to Mampaldor, inconsistencies existed within aspects of the evidence presented before the court. He maintained that he had not supported army use and denied the accusation against him. The defendant in the case continued to face serious charges connected to the violence that occurred in Nasser. All of the accused individuals have denied the allegation brought against them. As the legal proceeding continue, the court remains responsible for evaluating the evidence and reaching its conclusion based on the law. Well, those are the major stories making headline in South Sudan today. As the country moves toward election, many citizens continue to emphasize the importance of better healthcare services, a stronger school, improved road, and timely payment of salaries. At the same time, Health authorities remain alert as they work to strengthen Ebola preparedness measures at important before border crossing. Meanwhile, the ongoing court proceeding involving prominent political figures continue to attract national attention, with both prosecutors and defendants presenting their position before the judges. At Changfied YouTube channel, we remain committed to bring you news update in the balance and in balance, and we also urge everybody to support the ongoing court session. And also, we would like to ask our audience and supporter to support this channel by subscribing, turn on the notification bell, so whenever we upload a new video, you can be notified. Thank you for watching. Let's meet on the next video.